Hello, everyone.
Oh, we're live.
We're live. How's everyone doing?
Hello, world.
And welcome to Sunday
Bites
and
Tidbits
with
Chef Babette
and Terrah Bennett Smith.
That wasn't too bad.
No, that was the easiest.
Okay. So welcome to another episode of Sunday Bites and Tidbits, hosted by myself, Chef Babette,
and
my
Terrah
beautiful
Bennett
co-host,
Smith.
Terrah Bennett Smith. One day we're gonna get this.
We're gonna actually
right.
get
This so right.
Or we just gonna change the name.
We mess this up every week, Terrah.
No, but the first one was good. Sunday Bites and Tidbits.
But
we kind of played with it a little bit.
I know.
You know what? Whatever. Anyway, I'm so excited about this show today.
Oh, today.
Because, there's so many other options that you never think about. And like when you think raw foods, I think salads and carrots and some dip. I didn't realize, that raw meant you could use a dehydrator. Is that what it's called? A dehydrator?
Yeah, you're going to learn a lot.
You're going to learn a lot today about some things you can do. Hi, and all our guests. Welcome. They're jumping on. Hello, Ashley. And Querida. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Oh, so you're going to try
Querida.
to... So, we're sorry we messed your name up.
Your name, but it's either Querida or Querida. But hi. Thank you. And all of you who are joining in and saying something. We thank you all for being here. Tell us a little bit.
I just got to tell you a little bit about our guest today.
Yes.
Okay, so Chef India Camille and I met. She worked for Stuff I Eat for a while. I met her years ago before she started this journey, before I started my raw journey. And she and I kind of did that thing together. But let me just tell you about Chef. When I say she went to the moon and back, she went to the moon and back. I was getting ready before COVID. I was going to go to Belize, which is her home. And I was getting ready to go down there and do some training with Chef. That's how amazing she is. So when you talk about live food, we're talking about food that we're not subjecting to temperatures over 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That way you don't, when you don't subject your food to those high temperatures, you're not killing the live enzymes in the food. And so India just went straight live.
Wow. Period.
I'm talking hair. I remember when you see her hair today, she's Miss Mother Earth. That's what's done happened. She didn't turn into Mother Earth. So
and the other cool thing about this month too, we're gonna go 2 places since we couldn't travel.
That's true.
Because we were really hoping to travel this year, but obviously they done took all that away. We can't go nowhere. Anyway, I digress.
Calm down.
I was wanting to go someplace.
I know.
So
not like our other years.
I know we would travel. We had so much fun. Anyway, so today we're in Belize.
Yes,
that's where we are. And then I think next week we're going to London.
There you go.
And then I don't know where we're going. We may be right back in LA, but it don't matter. We went someplace. So y'all come with us. And please, let's welcome our guest.
Chef India Camille from Back to Live by Chef India. Welcome her.
Oh, it's so good to be here with you all. Look, we're coordinated.
I know. I asked her.
We didn't try. Well, I can't speak for y'all, but we didn't try on this end. We're just telepathically communicating.
Exactly. Because I asked her, I said, did you tell her our color was pink?
And
she
I
said no. And look at you, got your pink on.
Because you look so pretty.
I know. And whatever you got on that too.
And you all too. You
thank you, baby.
Pop each other's color a little bit.
That's right. A little pink.
But now look, Chef, I'm telling them all about you, Mother Earth. You just took it all the way back, and your gorgeous hair, and you wrapped it all up.
Well, we're preparing that food, so what happens. We in the kitchen.
Well, so before we go off, you gotta let them see that. You gotta let them see that. It's so beautiful.
Okay.
All right.
Well, and that is a thing, because sometimes you'll go in a place and you'll see people hair and it's just all in the food and they're cooking. And people like me, I pay attention to all that stuff. If you don't, like today I went to get a salad and I saw the guy cleaning something and he had on gloves and I'm just watching going, okay, you better change those gloves before you get to my set of the meal. And he took the gloves off, put some new ones on, because I'd be like, stop. Change your gloves.
That's her.
Don't, and I do it for other people on the line, people who can't even speak up for themselves. My son's like, but it wasn't even your business. I said, it doesn't matter. Change your gloves. That's right.
All right. So, Chef, I just, you're just so amazing to me. And I'm so thrilled that you decided to do Sunday Bites and Tidbits with us. We have a lot of people that are really desiring to transition, and just a little information about your start. Definitely answer the question for me. Did you start for a specific reason, and has that reason now changed and it's a bit more than it was at first? So what we're gonna do is just let you have the mic and maybe just take us on a little journey.
Take us on your journey. We may have a question or two in between, but go ahead. How'd you get started?
Okay, because I can talk, so I'm gonna do some talking. Well, I am gonna be 40 this year.
Are you?
I'm gonna be 40. I'm gonna be 40. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute.
You're a baby when I met you.
I was really young. When we met, for sure. I didn't think I was so young. I thought I knew everything.
Yeah, you did.
I thought I knew everything that there was. So I would even tell Chef B, no. And she was, youngin, please, right? So I started this journey because I was sick. I had a fibroid the size of a grapefruit on my left ovary when I was like 23. I went under surgery. Yeah, I went under surgery, and I still never changed how really I was eating. I thought I was eating healthy. I follow all of the shape magazines. All the magazines tell you have some fish, have a little broiled chicken, have brown rice. I don't even think quinoa was on the scene back then, but have some brown rice or some wild rice and some broccoli, and you're okay. And you can have a little something every now and then. So I was still eating a lot of animal products, and but I had this surgery, and when I asked the doctor, hey, like, why do I have this? I'm running. At the time, I was training for a half marathon. So, Chef B and I, we get it in on whatever. She be working me out, okay? Like, let's just put it like that. She be working me out. Terry, because she be trying to probably work you out too. Because she
we duel on that end.
Okay, because let me tell you, she was working me out. But I was training for a half marathon at the time. And that's probably what broke up all of that waste that was sitting in my womb area that I knew nothing about. I had like some issues, like my menses was skipping and, wasn't showing up on the same time every month like it was before. But I never really thought anything of it. And I said, I'll let it resolve itself, because here I am getting ready to I'm training for a half marathon. I was up to running about 2.5 hours straight without. So on that last time that I went on that long run, the next day I woke up and I had the worst pain in my side, and I was throwing up bile. I hadn't eaten anything. I was just throwing up all kind of acid. And I finally went to the doctor, because back then I didn't trust doctors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, they're a little skeptical to me. If I can avoid them, I will avoid them. But I could not avoid them any longer. I went to the emergency room. It took them 7 hours to find the cyst. And when they came back, they said, you're going to need to have operation like immediately.
Wow.
And basically from that was either a Thursday or a Friday. The next Monday, I was on the operating table. So, getting open, cut into, it's so invasive. And I woke up and I couldn't walk, and it was traumatic. Anybody who's had a C-section and had a baby or gone through what I've gone through, there's a lot of Black women in particular who have gone through, and Chef, you know what I'm saying? Like, people come in the shop all the time and they have fibroids and they have cysts and they have a lot of reproductive issues, and it's mainly because of what they've been eating. So to make a long story short, it was years before I actually started to change what I was eating, and I was just gaining all this weight because the doctor said the only way that he could keep me from having this cyst again, it was called a chocolate cyst, was to put me on birth control. I never believed in birth control up until this time. I was like, I don't want the cyst to come back. So whatever you say, doctor, I'm going to do. We be faithful like that. You know what I'm saying? We be like they are boyfriends or something, Y'all know. And so You like, yeah, my doctor said. So my doctor at the time said that, you know, birth control would be the only way to prevent this cyst from coming back. So I took the birth control. I gained a whole bunch of weight. I'm probably like 128 pounds right now. So imagine me at 176 pounds. That's that's how much. And you know, we carry our weight. We could carry our weight. So I was just looking a little real thick. You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking real thick. And but one day I couldn't close my pants, and I was like, oh,
that'll do it. That'll do it.
That will do it. I was at a dinner party actually, and there people were sitting around the table, and my friend, she had her little scale, and I was like, let me just try it out. So I got on the scale, and it was like 176. I couldn't close it. I let out this big scream. Like, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't take it no more. And I just went off on a rant. She was like, please don't. I'm like, I can't take it.
At the party?
Yeah, at the party. I was like, getting fat. You know, it was an intimate party. It was an intimate party, you know, so it was like the homies. But I was like, I'm getting fat. I can't believe it. I can't take it no more. I'm not doing it no more. So I went off and I went in the corner. I went by myself. And from that moment, though, I said, I need to figure out what's going on. I can't be on this birth control anymore. You know, so let me go see this naturopath. I went to go see a naturopath on Crenshaw. And she told me straight up, you need to stop eating the animal products. And if you can't, give up eating bread. And I'm like, okay, like you could, you know, the chicken and stuff I was never too big on because I always had digestive issues from a child. I was always constipated. And that's what led up to me having these issues. You know, there was a time from high school and college and growing up, I would use the restroom like do number 2 every other day. And I thought that was normal. You know what I mean?
They told us it was normal.
They
would tell you a couple of times a week.
I heard once a day.
No,
I had
once a day. Back in the day, doctors would actually tell people, a few times a week.
Couple times a week.
If you eat every day, you need to poop every day.
Yep. And then they would even say if you poop once a day or if it's a little hard, you know, here, just take some stool softeners. But no one ever said to me,
diet.
You need to change what you're eating or you're not getting enough water or, you know, nobody broke it down to me. And even a naturopath, she didn't really break it down. She just was like straight up, like, you just need to stop eating animal products and you need to stop eating bread if you can. You know, so I did this raw cleanse with her, this olive oil cleanse, which I don't know if I've ever done an olive oil cleanse.
That's the best.
Is it the best?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's the one with the olive oil, the herbal laxative and the lemon juice.
Listen, I didn't get no herbal laxative, but I got some apple juice and lemon juice and a big old bottle of, because remember, I was 176 pounds, so she had.
Oh, you were ready.
Yeah, she had issued the amount, like it was 2 cups, 16 ounces.
16 ounces of cold pressed olive oil.
Unfiltered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but did you pass gallstones and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, you know, like the results was great. You know what I mean? The process.
But it was getting it down, huh?
The process was hard, but let me tell you, when those things started coming out of me after like 8 or 9 hours, because my digestive system was really slow, I couldn't believe it. And I know it may sound a little gross out there.
Yeah, tell us what came out. What came out? I want to know what came out.
The toilet was full of gallstones, and I was 23. I was 23. So imagine, I'm like, what? I'm like, oh no, like what is this? Oh no, so I just kept going, and after that, I was instructed to only eat raw food for 2 weeks. And I'm gonna tell you, at the time, I was like, yo, this raw food thing is not for me. I don't know who eats like this, but I to have my piece of bread. I'm tired of these cabbage salads, and I'm tired of making smoothies. That was about it. That was all I knew how to make raw. And I knew this weird white raw guy up in the town, and he had like raw chocolate. You know, he was a little weird. He was a little strange. You know, like looking back, I'm sure people like I'm a little strange now, but back then, we used to be at the meetings, and his eyes used to be like, he used to be like, yes. I'd be like, hi, Seth. He'd be like, yes. get 12 all the time. And I used to be like, this dude is straight up from Mars. But he had chocolate, and this chocolate literally sent me into a different like time zone. So I was like, let me go get some more chocolate from him, because I know maybe he could help me out, give me some like give me some pointers or whatever. But yeah, so that was my experience. And then after that, I was like, let me just start to try to eliminate certain things. I don't know about this raw food thing, but let me just try to eliminate these. I did stick with it for 2 weeks, I saw the benefits, all of that, but I still needed to go and have my little alcohol and have my little bread and have my whatever it was.
Yeah, because when I met you, you were still eating.
I was eating fish.
You were still eating.
So wait a minute. Question. So when you were supposed to do this for 2 weeks, and this is the olive oil and the raw.
No, just the raw. The olive oil.
One time.
Oh, just one time.
Yeah, and then the raw.
And then after that, because remember, your system is really clean and really open. So
right. Okay.
She didn't want me to go back to eating like greasy or anything.
Exactly.
So India, hold your thought. I want to explain for our viewers. When she talks about this olive oil cleanse, I did my first one with Dr. Goss. And Dr. Goss sells an herbal laxative. They call it a laxative, but it's called CKLS. And it stands for colon, kidney, liver, spleen. And so basically his recipe is from 8 to 16 ounces of cold pressed olive oil, 5 of the CKLS capsules, a half cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. You drink, the lemon juice is to help you get the oil down. You drink all that down, and trust me, baby, whatever you got rolling up in you is getting ready to come out. All that worms, gallstones, muck, all of that stuff is coming out. So we'll post the recipe for you in the comments. Yeah. Go ahead, baby.
Process, and we still recommend that you go like to Dr. Goss's place.
Go to a specialist, yes,
or see somebody who is specialized in it, because I definitely, I was very happy that I went to someone that actually had, because I didn't know what I was doing. So like to be able to go to someone that can tell you, hey, you may experience this or you may experience this. Like, for example, you may even experience like being very nauseated and having problems keeping all of that oil down into your stomach. And you may feel really bad. I felt really bad. I had to sit up for many hours before the gallstones came, and I had to suffer. I went through sufferation. Like,
I had to suffer.
I had to suffer. I went through sufferation. I felt really ill. Like I wanted to just vomit all of that up, but I said, no, we're going to see what this is all about. We're going to see if these people are telling the truth or if they're telling stories, So I went through that, and that was cool, but I still wasn't ready to fully transition. And if you're not out there, that's okay too. I think just take your time to be conscious of what you're eating and make your progress. So then when you come on this end of the fence, you don't have a need to return back to that other side of illness and sickness. You know what I mean? You would have made all your transitions, Right. Mm-hmm. So I gave up eating gluten, and I felt so much better. I gave up eating any milk, any dairy, anything that had milk and dairy, anything that had gluten. I felt much better. And when I met Chef Babette, I was still eating fish here and then, here and there. And it was, she said, you still eating fish? I said, yeah. She said, why would you do that? And I said, well, I don't know. And she said, might as well you stop then. And I was like, and that was it. And I just stopped eating fish. And from then I didn't touch any fish. And then I started working under Chef Babette, working with Chef Babette as well, and jamming out in the kitchen. And I think I would try different foods out there, but Chef Babette's food is just so soulful and satisfying.
Yeah, makes you feel like home,
Yeah, like I was like, yo, these tacos are banging. You know what I'm saying? And they're not just made with some simple ingredients. Like you got kale up in the tacos, and it really tastes really flavorful. And then we all know the enchilada pie was.
I remember you in that enchilada pie.
Like even when I was transitioning into eating like more raw food, that used to get me. And I used to be, man, I'm hungry. Let me have a little bit. Let me just get a little bowl of that enchilada pie.
That's still one of our biggest sellers.
And
enchilada pie.
The macaroni and cheese was also my hit. So, but you know, I think Chef B and I started working more together and creating more raw food and getting really excited.
That was really fun.
Yeah, about the raw food. And then I left, and then I came back.
And when you came back, you were my raw food chef.
Yeah. I
remember.
So how many years has it been for you, Chef India?
Wow, it's going on, I want to say like 12 or 13 years.
Well, I've been in the restaurant 13, honey. I think this is 13.
12 then. It's around 12.
Yes, yeah.
Because soon after, I wasn't plant-based, like what people would call vegan, for a very long time before I became a raw foodist. And I think that really more so for me, it was just because my stomach just couldn't take cooked food really from beginning, from even like the vegan food, because I come from such a jacked up upbringing. It really, my stomach, you know, antibiotics, you know, the 80s generation, growing up in foster care, being medicated, being always getting those antibiotics, which ruin your digestive system, and then growing up on packaged foods.
Yeah.
So my digestive system was like shot anyways. Yeah. So then I think it was Angelica who introduced me to
Angelica.
Yeah. My girl Angelica, our girl Angelica had a raw pizza, and I was like, "What's that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's a raw pizza." And I was like, "What's that on top?" She was like, "Oh, that's cashew cheese." And I was like, "Oh, let me try it." And it was banging. And the next day, I woke up and I went to the restroom, and everything just dropped out of me. And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I think I have met my savior." You know,
because it dropped. You know, we just want everything to drop out.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
you just want things to drop out. You don't want to sit there and you got to bring a couple of magazines because you can't move because you know it's coming, but it ain't really there.
That was me. I was like, let me take some magazines. Let me get. I feel a little. I was like, okay, it's about to come. All right, and it was like an event. You know what I
mean? Exactly. Because when you eat well, let me tell you something. When you eat well, it is at the door.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't do anything but go because it is at the door. And that happened to me today. Going to walk, I'm going to take a long walk to the market. And as I started walking, I'm like, it's at the door. No. But I decided that I could make this walk all, it was about a 15-minute walk there and a 15-minute walk back with it at the door. Whoa. And I made it back. But by the time I got to my door, it was like, we ain't waiting no more.
Yeah,
so it was like, soon.
And when we love, we want to always have it like that. We don't
have it at the door.
Having a hum la la on the toilet and let's breathe and let's try to read something to keep our. Let's have us. I know people who smoke cigarettes on the toilet because they can't use the bathroom. I know of people who do that because the nicotine, it moves just like coffee. There are people who drink coffee. Bowel movement, you know. And if you're out there, don't feel bad, but just know that that's not normal. And what's normal is to be able to go to the restroom as soon as you feel it coming. It's coming, and it's gonna drop out of you. But after that, I was sold. I was like, all right, I'm about to learn everything there is about knowing this raw food thing. I'm about to get certified, this, and that. Then I met, you know, linked up with the raw black man himself, Iris Latham. And we
gotta give Dr. Latham some love because he knew the stuff.
He did.
He knew it.
He did, and from time he's been teaching. Anybody who's deal with raw food in our community has definitely been touched by the elders. So we give thanks for him.
Yeah.
You know? And I had the opportunity to be his understudy for 2.5 years, I would say about 2 years thereabout. And I traveled with him, and I learned a lot there was to know, not just about raw foods, but detoxing the body. And since then, I've just been on a journey of detoxing, and clearing, and being more strict in what I'm doing. So when I first started, it was really about, you know, being well and not going back on birth control. And then I started to see improvements with me using the restroom, with my energy level, with my skin, with everything. And then that just kept me, you know, vanity kept me going. I'm like, yo, I always wanted a body like this. and I never had a body like this. You know what I'm saying? So now I have this little muscle tone. I have this. And so in the beginning, it was really, really, really about, vanity and also feeling good. But now,
and that's okay. Vanity is a good thing.
It is good.
Vanity will make you do some things.
Hey,
Make sure that you look and feel good. Vanity is not a bad thing. I'm not a vanity.
Vanity is why I bought this outfit. I'm just
so Raquel Kane says how to get rid of fibroids though. Yeah. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, that's a process, you know what I'm saying? Remember that fibroids is a collection of crystallized waste. That's all fibroids is. So when you actually start to break down the waste in your system, then the fibroids will literally melt. But if you're continuing to eat consumption of certain foods and not be hydrated, especially, then that's just going to continue to crystallize and be a hard ball of waste. So it's really cleaning up your consumption, doing a few fasts, seeing people who deal, maybe some herbalists to help break down that waste, but also just not putting that waste back in. And it does take time. So it's not something that's overnight. And not to mention hormonal balance. Everything in our everything in our environment is like disrupting our hormones, especially as women, African women, Black women, people of color. It's disrupting from the clothes that we're wearing, is disrupting our hormonal balance from the cell phones that we're carrying and the computers.
Yeah, that's true.
And so the food is just like, it's like a catalyst to start to move all of that waste. So I would say clean up your consumption. Definitely start by not eating any animal products, no milk, dairy. And then the flour thing, Chef knows. She knows because she knows people personally who have gotten rid of certain level of fibroids, but they started eating and consuming this flour thing, this white flour thing, even wheat flour for that matter. Flour. And
flour, cut it out.
No flour. You know what I'm saying? If you had to make a choice between the flour and the meat, I don't know which one is worse for you, to be honest.
Well, the animal flesh is by far worse. However, the white flour, all the flour. That's why you got to lay back on that kind of stuff. You can't be addicted to it. That's certain. You cannot be addicted.
Go ahead and have that. And if you're gonna have the flour, make sure it's sprouted flour as much as possible, because then the grains are able to actually break down and the body's able to use it. When you have sprouted grains, you can eat it, but I guarantee you won't be eating that much of it because your body won't even want that much of it. Your body will be very satisfied with what it gets from it.
And you're hitting on something very important. Generally, when we get the nutrients, the message to the brain is that we're fed.
We're good.
We're good. But that's the problem. We eat so much depleted food that we're constantly hungry, and we don't feed ourselves. We're wipeouts pretty much. What's that? Coconut?
Okay, we're going to get to whatever you're making there. But before we get to that, we have a question here. I don't know if anyone can answer this. How to get rid of postmenopause, C-section, FUPA. Help me, please. Blessings and peace. Anybody know?
No, first of all, I just have to say this to this Linda Johnson. I am not a doctor.
Right.
Neither.
I share my lifestyle with whoever cares to know about my lifestyle. I make the suggestion that you go and you find yourself a good doctor, a good holistic doctor. My problem with allopathic medicine is they're way too into chemicals and they have not studied nutrition. I got an issue with that. I have an issue with somebody telling me what to do with myself and they don't know what to do with themselves. I got a massive issue with that. Sorry, docs, if the shoe. Yeah. However, when I'm talking about to her, Ms. Johnson, you go and you find yourself a good holistic doctor and ask those questions to somebody that's qualified to answer, because I would hate to give you the wrong information.
Yeah.
So
And then there's so much,
wanna,
and there's so many other levels too when things go awry that
we don't,
to give you a blanket remedy,
diagnosis
or remedy
right.
may work worse for you because we don't know all of the things that's going on. So
right.
you can tell what works. This works for me, but my body is so different than yours and what's going on the inside.
But the one thing you can be certain of, clearing up your diet is a start. That I know for sure. And that olive oil trick that she's talking about, that ain't no joke. That is how I got started on this whole transition.
So as Chef India, I want to ask you, what is your go-to recipe, that like meal or thing or dish that everyone just loves when they see you, like when they come to Stuff I Eat, is enchilada pies. You gotta have enchilada pies. What would be something of yours?
Oh, man. That's really a hard one because, and I'm not trying to sound big-headed.
Yes, she is, because she make everything good. She is.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Where were we in Texas?
We were in Houston.
And you were making, and this was really my first time eating raw food that went into dehydrate.
She was dehydrating.
Doing all kind of
things. She was
sprouting.
She was doing all kinds of stuff.
Girl, you were working. However, some of the things I didn't even realize was not cooked.
Right.
That's what was interesting about it, is that you think live and raw foods, you think it's just going to be cut up tomatoes, cut up lettuce, cut up cucumbers, and cut up, but no, this stuff you felt like you were eating something that actually was cooked.
Prepped that. She prepped it.
So tell us, what is your, tell us.
Okay,
Give me one recipe that you love to make that's good.
One recipe. Wow. One recipe. It depends on the day. I know yesterday I made these apple pies that, like, I love apple pie, and I made these. I used to love McDonald's apple pie.
Yes.
And so I made these apple pie pockets and I dehydrated it. And then the inside was still smooth and moist. And I made the inside with apples and seaweed. We just flavored the sea moss a certain way because sea moss is really gelatinous. So the apple pies.
Sea moss is the lid, ain't it?
They have the, those apple pies, they have that kind of like that sauce.
Yeah. From the juice from the apples, and then they add some other stuff in.
Yeah. So there's that, but I think, like, I don't know, like our pizza, pretty much anything. I don't really have, there's so many things. It's just whatever I love, whatever I want to eat at that moment, that's what I make.
So yes, with this, why don't you start? Because I attempted at Stuff I Eat, Claudia, remember Claudia?
Yes.
Okay, she and I attempted to do the tamales. Oh my gosh, you got to tell me about your tamales.
Okay, so that is a favorite of mine. Good one, Babette. Good one. So
I know.
The thing is the tamales is made with cauliflower, and what we do is we take the cauliflower and we grind it down, and then we remove the water out of it, because the water in the cauliflower is what gives it that smell, that sulfur taste and that sulfur flavor. So we want it to be more like a potato kind of vibe and then we add some cashew cream and some fresh herbs and some bell peppers and some fresh organic corn. And then we take it, and the trick is we put it in a banana leaf, right? And then we dehydrate it in the banana leaf, and it has the flavor of the banana leaf. So it's like when you open it up and you taste it, it doesn't taste like anything you would ever, and it's when you serve it warm, it's even better. It's even
and
better.
That is considered raw. It's warm, but it's still raw.
It's not over 150
degrees. There are levels to that, right? Because as I've continued, my consumption personally has become very simple. But people who are transitioning, they still want, eating is an event for most people. You know what I'm saying? So they want that flavor. They want that impact to hit their taste buds. And they want to be entertained, you could say, by what they're consuming. So we still make those, but there are levels to this thing, because there was a time where I only ate fruits for 8 months, 9 months, and literally I was monomilling. I would eat 20 tomatoes, and that was one of my meals. Then I would eat 7 mangoes, and that was another one of mine. Then I would eat only watermelon, and that was one meal. And so there are levels to this thing. And I think the base level of starting at with raw food is not cooking it and using a dehydrator to remove the moisture to a certain extent, right? Because nobody wants no dry foods. If you get a whole bunch of dry foods, you're not really eating living foods. You're eating dehydrated foods, right? Because even though they may contain their vitamins and their minerals, they're lacking the most important element, which is the water content. So the water content in the food is very important. The dehydrated foods are really for transitioning from cooked into being able to have a palate, just like you go from eating animal products to having a palate to not wanting any animal products. Like I know now, if I taste something and it has milk, immediately, I don't even need to, I can probably even smell it. I can probably even look at the way that it moves and be like, that has milk in it or that has sugar in it. And not need, so the same way that you transition out of eating animal products is the same way you would transition into eating living foods. And the dehydration really does help, right? So when I felt like I wanted an apple pie, I had that. But also, like those fresh foods, Terrah, are excellent for us too because they contain that water, you know? So sometimes we sit down and we have a big old bowl of cucumbers.
Well, you know what? I was getting a salad today. My salads are very kind of basic, avocado, maybe with some lettuce, tomatoes, and some of the greens. And this woman in front of me, this was kind of scary. And I wanted to say something, but it was none of my business because I'm not, I don't even have as much knowledge as you ladies. But she got all your basic greens. She got lettuce, she got tomatoes, she got 3 beans. Lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions. Then she got garbanzo beans, black beans, and another bean. Then she got, then she went over and got strawberries, grapes.
She gonna be farting.
Wait a minute. She got strawberries, grapes, watermelon, and blueberries.
She gonna have gas.
She had it all in one salad.
She gonna have gas.
And I was looking at it going, I was like, wow, that just sounds like a lot of stuff that's just gonna, but to her, and she said, and then she said to me, she said, if you get a large one, you'll have it for 2 or 3 days.
She gonna India. What she gonna have? She gonna have gas. You can't be look. Y'all got Google now. And just Google, why do I need to combine my food properly? Or just look up food combining.
For real.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, we're gonna get ready to talk about what you're about to make, but we have a question here. Okay. Any suggestions for folks on the go and carrying food with you? Lunch, breakfast, etc.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. Raw food,
Carries well.
You have to prepare for raw food in advance. Like, Chef B, if you wake up and you ain't prepared your raw food, you pretty much busted. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say something.
But see, if you're like me, you make meals. You just stated it. You can make meals out of nuts.
Yeah. Well, you can make meals out of nuts, but also like if you want to make it in advance. So like something I've learned with having detox clients, because we have to provide their foods in advance, right? They can't just be waiting on us to make their foods for them. So we provide their foods 1 to 3 days in advance, and we have to package it in a certain way that it will keep longer. So if you make dehydrated wraps, you want to go ahead and put them in into a plastic or something with paper in between, and to stop the moisture from coming in. When you make nut meats, you want to make enough nut meat so that you can have it for 2 or 3 days, so that you schedule out your prep. So that's the most important thing with raw food. Raw food is really easy, but a lot of people, they're so used to just waking up, dashing out the house, and then when they get hungry, they're like, oh, I'm hungry. What am I going to eat? Oh, okay, let me go over here. But with living foods, you have to think about, okay, this is what I'm going to make in advance, especially when it comes to that dollar, because we know right now everybody's under a different kind of level of understanding with spending up that fiat money. So we got to make sure that we are budgeting as well. So we budget out what we want to make, what recipes we're going to make, and what days we're going to make it. And the raw food keeps for 2 to 3 days. So I would say the same way you deal a lot of fruits. You deal with a lot of fruits. Like if you're on a go, if you're in the airport, if you're traveling, fruits. That's the best thing that you could go to, because you may not find raw nuts. They may be roasted, which kind of ferments on the stomach. I don't know if you've had that experience, but it can upset the stomach. So just get some bananas, get some fruits, get some oranges, and that is a meal that will get you through to the next.
But I think for a lot of people, when you think of a banana, that they think of that as a snack because your body's not conditioned to get full off that. It takes a while before your body's conditioned to just say, okay, I'm having my meal of banana. I'm having my meal of orange.
10 bananas, and that would be definitely, you will definitely.
What'd you say?
10.
Say 10 bananas. Be on the plane with your 10 bananas laid out. That's funny.
But you know, India, I do a lot of, I don't eat a lot of bulky foods. It's just easy for me to pretty much, and when I'm eating crap, it shows quickly on me. But for somebody on the go, my suggestion as you're transitioning, now if you're already into raw food, you got this, you got your own dehydrator and stuff, yeah, all that prep is great. But if you're transitioning, you got to figure out how to get those foods that offer you the nutrients that don't take any prep at all, i.e. the fruit. Like she said, raw nuts, soak them, dehydrate them a little bit, dry them out, or not. They're just foods that you can eat that does not require a lot of prep.
And get yourself some snacks.
Yeah, exactly. Like this woman right here. This is a gentleman. Eric says, make some guacamole and use lettuce leaves as tacos. Tacos leaves. I do it all the time.
And that's perfect.
Yeah. And Philly.
Sometimes I've even had it on the go. I don't have no time to even make no guacamole. I just pick up an avocado. I pick up some cherry tomatoes. I pick up a little sea salt. I pick up a little hot pepper. And I go in, I put it in my cart. I take that, I put it in the plastic bag. And then I just chomp on that with maybe some kale chips that I got. You know what I'm saying? Or some raw corn chips that I had. You know, and that's how I maintain for a lot of time, because we're on the go and sometimes we don't have the time to prep and we don't have the money to be going to the restaurants or the time to go to the restaurants. And the food
and eating is not just all the time by sitting down to large plates of food. That's what we're accustomed to 3 times a day.
And you can become accustomed to whatever you
you can change your mind.
But I don't want to miss, I want to get to your recipe and then we can, if we have
that's something about some bananas, the spike of sugar and bananas.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
So, you know, the spike of sugar and bananas, that's not, you know, that's really not going to, for me, from what my experience is going to affect a toxic person. Really, you just need to drink more water. You know, if you choose not to eat bananas and you choose to eat an apple, which has less sugar, the sugar in fruit is made from glucose. So glucose burns directly into the bloodstream. It's not a sugar the body actually takes time to process like that. So I would say give up eating those grains before you get up eating the banana.
I agree. I agree. And also, when you eat a banana, make sure it's ripe.
Yeah.
You eat bananas green. We don't even want a banana if it's got a spot on it. And that is just ignorant. You got to eat the banana when it is ignorant. We don't know. It's ignorant because we don't know. That's ignorance. And I remember when I was ignorant like that. I didn't understand about
Right. I used to be like, that's too right. Like, I don't want no spots on my head. You know what I mean? Like, because we are conditioned to, because you know why? Because television, when you look at all of the TV shows, when they go peel a banana, none of those bananas look spotted.
No, they don't.
But go to the supermarket. You can't even find spotted bananas in the supermarket. They get rid of them. And that's when we should be eating them.
Okay, well, let's get to your recipe. Let's talk about what you got.
Okay, so what I got here, I'm missing something. I'll be right back.
Well, we should be right back. Well, this is going to be exciting because this could be a recipe that I can
Missing the knife. So we're gonna make a quick smoothie. It's a really easy smoothie, but it's full of nutrients. We have our
what's it called?
We're gonna call it the tropical solar plexus.
I need to get down and do some workout.
Look, I'm like
solar plex. Okay,
what's that?
Come on with it.
The solar plexus is the chakra that deals with the digestive system.
Right.
And the color of it is yellow, and we have the other chakra underneath, which deals with our reproductive and our sensuality, and that one's called the sacral. So those are orange and yellow. So
Give me that one about the sexuality.
The sensuality.
The sensuality.
I know, she's poor baby. She got sensual and sexual mixed up.
So I'm trying to be, anyways. So we have the orange and we have the yellow. We have some fresh mango because we are in Belize. It is mango season, and we have our papaya here, and we have our almond milk here.
Wait a minute, let me ask you a question.
So did you make the almond milk, honey?
I did make the almond milk, and we made it in advance. And all you need to do is 1 cup of almonds that have been soaked, preferably, to 2 to 3.
Soak for how long? How long do you soak?
8 to 12 hours to remove those enzymes.
So raw
And why are you soaking them?
So we can remove the enzyme inhibitors, because if not, it's very difficult for the body to digest it. In fact, the enzyme inhibitors will block the body from producing trypsin, which is the enzyme that's responsible for breaking down protein into our system, right? Where we can actually use the acids.
Thank you.
So we soak all nuts, seeds, and grains 8 to 12 hours, no more than 12 hours in enough water. Empty the water, and then we're able to store the nuts in the fridge or in the freezer for until we need to use them, right? Or you can eat them as well. And then with the milk, it's just 1 cup. It's 2 to 1. So if you choose to use 2 cups of almonds, then you use 4 cups of water. And you just add that to the blender, you blend it up, and you strain it. You don't really need to buy packaged almond milk. You can make your own almond milk. You can make your own nut milk, your seed milk, and it's full of vitamins and nutrients, and it doesn't have any preservatives in it. So we have our fresh almond milk here, and we're gonna add, because Judah's in the back and he wants some. So we're gonna add 3.
Who is that?
Judah is my husband.
Hey, Judah.
He's over there, but he already put his order for some smoothie. And then I have some frozen peaches here. So I'm gonna add that right to the blender as well. Now I only had half a cup, but if you have like 1.5 cup, that would be great, right? I'm using what I got. And then I have a little trick that I learned from Chef Babette. We got some frozen bananas here. This is what I learned from Chef B, okay? Because she makes the bomb smoothie. She used to have this carrot coconut smoothie.
Oh, didn't you love it?
But that was my favorite smoothie, and it used to take a lot of work, but it was the bomb smoothie. And the way, one of the little secrets that we got are the frozen bananas. So we have 3 cups of frozen bananas.
See, now I want some of that.
Yes, I wish I could send it to you.
Can't you fax it? Like, wait a minute, put it in the dehydrator and see if you can fax it through, and then I get it on my side, and I defrost it or something.
And then you just add some water to it, right?
I add some water to
They're
it.
gonna have that. They're gonna have that in the future.
One day.
Yeah, I know.
So
what's that?
That's the moss.
We have a 3rd cup of the sea moss. So we're gonna add this right into the and the sea moss. You know, if you're dealing with like inflammation issues, joint issues, I mean, it's blowing up all over the place. So I'm sure y'all know what it's good for. But most people only put it in their smoothies, and you can use it as an emulsifier for anything. So like I use it in my cheeses to stretch my cheeses, because who wants to keep using all these cashews and spending up all this money in the COVID environment? We can't be doing that. Not that. You know,
You better not be using that. I'm stepping out. It's burning up.
We gotta conserve. So
that's right.
We stretch our nut cheeses with our cashews. We put that in there. Nobody will even tell the difference, right?
Okay.
It's easier to digest too, so then you're not just eating a pile of cashew. Because sometimes that could feel heavy, and Chef B knows. Like, hold it down, right? And then we have our papaya here. And papaya, I call papaya the superior food. Now, if you're in the States, you may not be able to find the best tasting papaya, but go to your Mexican store, your Spanish store. You know, those ones. And the stuff like that. Make sure you go there and you pick up the papaya, because it's coming straight from Mexico. And trust me, Whole Foods is selling the same exact thing. Okay, so
$62.
Yep.
$62 a papaya at Whole Foods.
Whole paycheck.
Serious thing, whole paycheck. That's what we used to call it. So we have our fresh papaya here, and we're gonna use 1 cup of fresh papaya, and you can even buy a papaya in advance and freeze it as well, so that your smoothie is nice and thick. And
God, it's making me want some. What am I gonna do when the show's over?
And then
I don't have no food in my house, people.
You better go to Chef Babette.
She's in my house.
Chef Babette got your deck. And then we have our fresh mango, and I will tell you, mango is just falling in the road right now in Belize. And you know,
it's what you said. It's falling in the road.
Falling in the road, just all over the place. Mango.
Well, we need to go to Belize. Just get some
I told
mango.
you we
Fly
needed
back.
to go to
I'm talking about
Belize.
right now. Just get some mango and fly right back.
And you know, being in the States, mango is such a treat. Chef B knows we used to spend like $7 on mango. Okay.
Yeah, mangoes up, man.
We used and Rondo used to be trying to hide the mangoes from us. Like we had to go.
Yo, mango junkies. We had
to
mangoes.
Please, can we have some of that mango? Please, can we have a mango? He'd be like, well, you know, I just got these mangoes. And you know, you could have put in your order ahead of time. You know how Rondo goes. So he wasn't trying to share his mangoes like that, but he let go of 1 or 2. But
Rondo can be like that. You know, Rondo orders a tray of wheatgrass almost every week. But yeah. Rondo drinking all the wheatgrass. He ain't giving me none of that wheatgrass.
He don't mind getting it for you. You know, once you put in your order, but you need to best put on your order.
You still better put your order in.
You better put in your order. So then we're gonna go ahead. There's a question, but I'm gonna add I would say 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup of this fresh, juicy, delicious mango.
That she found in the street as she was driving by.
I didn't find this one in the street.
I'm just joking.
While you're doing that, sweetheart, we have a compliment and a question. Okay. It says, good evening. It's a blessing to hear this educational information from you ladies. What's the right path of starting to become a vegan? Change your mind. That's the first thing you do. Go, India. What would you tell her?
Well, I would say that too. Like, just make a commitment. You know what I mean? Because really the information is out.
No,
India, come back. She's frozen. I need my smoothie.
You are so funny.
I know, this is all. She'll be back.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We back. But yeah, just make a commitment because there's so much information out there. You really can do everything that you want to do. And if you're in the States, you have access to anything.
To everything.
Vegan that you would want. And that I give thanks for that. Because had I tried to become a plant-based, person up in Belize and starting from Belize, I don't know. Because there aren't any options,
And I think for me, one of the things is when you go to some restaurants and try some different things. Mm-hmm. And once you see that you don't have to miss a lot of what you're used to eating, it's easier to do. It's changed so much, from before. Because I don't miss anything that I eat.
Vegan food used to be
lettuce, tomatoes.
Well, it was pretty pedestrian. It was just, It's like, this has no flavor. It's just the textures were off. It was just not cool. But now you ain't missing nothing.
You ain't missing nothing.
I'm gonna be real, especially because more and more African people are going into. Now I've met
seasonings
who are not, like African in the skin color tone, but African at heart nonetheless, but still in the skin color tone, melanated people. And I met some people who make some good food raw that are not Black people. But I would tell you now that Black people are starting more and more to go on this plant-based journey. If you're in LA, definitely stop by Stuff I Eat, because let me tell you, you will be enlightened to know, hey, I don't have to eat bad to feel fulfilled. I don't have to eat terrible. Definitely seek us out. We're out there and we need your support as well.
And when you go to Belize, how do they find you?
They can look me up on my website. They can hit me up on Facebook. Right now we're doing private orders. We closed our cafe, unfortunately. Part of the COVID thing, we were filling it way ahead of time. So, you know, we did close our doors for the second time around, but we were open for 3 years, and we were the first raw vegan and vegan place in the whole country of Belize. So
Wow.
we were able to educate a lot of people. Now there's about 4 or 5 restaurants here, and they're doing their thing, and we're happy that they're doing their thing as well. So I'm gonna blend this. I'm gonna blend this up real quick.
Okay, everyone got your glasses out?
Yes.
I got my glasses out.
It looks like it's gonna be really good.
Oh my God, it's so delicious.
Okay. And I'm gonna pour this. Now I'm probably gonna add some nutmeg for this for my husband a little later because that's what he likes. But
Well, it sounds like that would be like a holiday, add like a holiday
Kit.
Oh my gosh, that looks delicious.
You know when I make that face. That's really
wait a minute, my face is like this.
And I'm all salivating and stuff. Look, we like.
We should have had it. You know what? Normally we get the recipes in advance.
We should have had it and blended up. We should have blended up
our own so we can have some here because this is
so we could have had a toast with you.
What
this
I'll
is
do,
torture.
I have my noni wine here. I was waiting because y'all was like, you know, you're gonna do some toasting. So I was like, I have my noni wine. You know, I got a wine too. You know?
Well, it looks most delicious. So everyone can find you where? Because you believe our hour's already up. I can't even believe it's been up.
It's back to live chefindia.com. And I'm really excited. I did want to take a moment just to let everyone know the new website is up and it's operating. We even have a membership hub for recipes, and it's only
great.
$10. Yes, $10 for a 7-day pass. You get 7 recipes, you get a video recipe, and you get access to a news article on food justice that I write because I am a journalist too, right?
That's right, first.
Yes, first I was. And if you wanted the monthly pass, it's only $20 for the monthly pass. So that's less than $1 a day. And we update it every week. We also have meal plans on there that's instantly downloadable. And we have our detoxification program. And if you mention that you saw the show, Bites and Tidbits with Chef Babette and featuring Chef India, Camille, and Tara, of course.
That's all right, honey. I know I'm here. You ain't got to worry about
it. Then I will go ahead and grant you our 50% off of our detox.
Y'all better jump on that.
Course. And it has the recipes. It has a meal plan. It even has yoga with our dear friend Angelica. It has live courses as well. So definitely check it out. I'll send you all the link and I'll put it in the description below. But back to live chefindia.com, and the 2 is not spelled out. It is.
I posted it right here. Can you see it, Chef India? Is that right? Okay, so you guys make sure you take it down because this is how you can go to her site and see what's going on and support her. Because this has been such a
recipes there now. So if you go and you subscribe, you get a free recipe. If you go and subscribe, even if you don't subscribe, you can get a free chocolate brownie ice cream recipe. All you have to do is enter, and then we'll go ahead and give it to you.
Can I just say to you, thank you, sweetheart,
oh my gosh,
for this interview. I knew it was going to be amazing. You're wonderful. I can't wait.
I
can't wait to come to Belize and hang with you guys. Please keep teaching. Please keep doing what you're doing. You're just a doll. I just love you so much.
This was so much fun, and you're a little crazier than I. The last time I met you, there was under different circumstances.
Yeah,
so you were a little stressed out. Just a little stressed out because this is a whole other personality than that other person who was just like,
yeah, y'all. She was a little stressed.
I was a little tight to say the least. And
you had a lot going on, baby.
Chef India is not supposed to be tight. Trust me. Y'all don't want to meet the tight India. India be real tight. You know.
Oh, let me tell you this too. He'll be so upset if I didn't tell you. Dr. Montgomery wanted me to tell you, hey. He said, please tell India I said hi. I said, I certainly will. He sends love.
All right. Well, blessed love. We give thanks.
Right.
We really appreciate the time and the opportunity to be featured with such wonderful women. And you both are pioneers. Terrah, you have always had Chef Babette's back, and I admire that. I wish I could somebody to be like that with me. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? When you come back, I'll have you for the time you're here.
And okay, and then
because y'all, what y'all do is so very different. You know, we can support each other that way. And this, I just saw before you go. So we have to figure out how you're going to freeze dry the rest of the smoothie. Wait. Can you send it overnight? No.
I don't know about that one.
All right, we just gotta
go make one.
My mouth is sitting there like
I'm gonna send you the recipe, and then you can make it yourself.
All right, baby.
That's not the point.
We gotta say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you all
so
for joining
all
us.
of you guys looking and listening, and please share this.
And
we
support
love you.
our sister, Chef India. Back to the #2 live, chefindia.com. Her website is right here. Please support her and go get her book. She got a lot of free stuff.
And go get your 50% off.
Go get your 50% off.
Or whatever she giving away.
Whatever she giving away, because I'm going right now. All right.
Love you, honey.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Okay, now we got to exit out.